Richard upped and left to go find pieces in his backstory, and you all, I believe, before that also came to blows with some of the eldritch horrors that are going to start, who were basically teasing all of you that they were going to start. Yeah, always look on the bright side of life. If I had to put yep.
I just noticed that I don't have a lot of spell slots.
No, you don't.
Why?
I think because maybe you might have used a few. I'm not sure.
Cast a few spells there.
Yeah. Besides
Don't say
that,
it like that.
besides that, Daisy used the oracle cards the deck of oracles to try and see ahead, because obviously a lot has changed. But her scrying was circumvented by a familiar horned devil to Yaya, who was looking telepathically through Daisy's eyes and got yeeted into the vision, where the hordes of corrupted were sprinting into the mountain pass. As well as then Daisy and Yaya immediately screaming, "We got no time, no time, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta get the fuck out of here," kind of deal. And while everyone was packing up and getting ready, a voice called out, and whereas Yaya was telling everyone to run, basically everyone was telling Yaya to fuck off, we're staying and we're fighting. In polite terms.
No, we didn't say it like that. We told her to just suck it up and either run with us or...
Yeah. As well as your allies Chit Chit and Jackson, who stayed behind. Jackson being the Celestial Empyrean, who went face first into a mountain because a battle backhanded him. Not exactly a good start. Chit Chit is standing there with like 3 stone knives in his hands, just ready to go. Covered in mushrooms and a mind flare parasite maybe inside of him, but that's unrelated.
That's for
How
the
many organs?
future. We gotta survive to get to that point.
Yeah, that's fine.
That is tomorrow's...
That is legit tomorrow's problem. However, additionally on top of that, the bone devil, who I cannot remember for the life of me his name, had also pulled a posse of bone devils to join the fight.
Yo, you mean the horn devil pulled the?
Yeah, the horn devil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he called 3 bone devils to come and join, which were these terrifying bone-looking devils that were mocking everyone essentially. And then the horned devil, Yaya's corrupted now infernal brother, disappeared into a plane shift, whereas some of you rolled really high, and one of you rolled a natural 1, Kitty, and basically it happens, and it basically identified a Balor flying above all of you. That Jackson decided to try and fight and got backhanded into a mountain, and then it landed. A bit curious how one of you was able to speak the abyssal tongue, and then decided to announce that he was bringing the war here, as the corrupted were running forward and hell portals were beginning to emit, and he just basically used his lightning blade to carve a rift into the abyss, and there were a lot of inhumane screeches and gurgles coming from the rift as it was breaking open. Meaning the blood war was coming to the area that you guys were now in, live, and it depends on whether or not you guys wish to turn tail and run and do a running situation, or stand and try to fight. Now, additionally, on top of that, as one of these discussions was taking place, Kitty unfortunately contracted a point of indefinite madness, which required, in order to keep sane, she had to drink. And how she got this was by literally looking at a mural of a multi-limbed eldritch nightmare. on a wooden
Yo,
plaque.
someone, I'm at 11 hit points. I'm really easy to kill right now. Just do it.
And also to do with this, you all came into the possession of 2 cultist robes and 2 books. One of which Richard nearly got James nearly got a point of indefinite madness by by flicking very quickly through it and realizing slow to read it and to understand how the summonings work, which got more and more terrifying. And more unhinged, whereas he now has a book that allows him to cast ritualistically summons, like the infernal summonings, summon greater demon, summon lesser demon. No, they're basically like the all like infernal summoning spells and whatnot. You haven't taken a proper look at the Eldritch Tome yet. You just kind of like read bits and pieces. And hilariously, it was James who went, no, Balor, that's a Balor. Ah, shit.
Ah,
It's a greater demon of the abyss. One of the top generals. And now we come into this. So, you have to last approximately 4 rounds to allow the convoy to get away safely. If you run before that, there is a high percentage likelihood that there will be a lot of civilian and innocent casualties. And a lot of resources will no longer be available to you. Round 2, if you were to escape that way, you might lose a quarter. Because if you leave on round 1, you're more than likely to lose half. Not to do with the fact that everything's going to target them, but just because they would get swept up into this blood war skirmish. Round 3, 5%. You might lose like a few beasts of burden, maybe 2 of the mastiffs, and quite a few of the guards, as they're the ones doing rear guard defense. Leaving on round 4, you don't lose anyone, but there's a high likelihood chance that more of the minions will spot you and will give chase. So leaving on round 1, none of the monsters are going to chase you, but the Blood War will rip its way through the convoy. Round 2, you'll lose half your entire convoy. Which also includes major NPCs. Round 3, you might lose a significant. You might lose a few very important individuals, or you might be able to pull more allies into the combat for higher survivability. Round 4, the minions will start chasing you, but there's like a 0.1% chance that the convoy will get hit. So, how creatively you deal with this situation is entirely up to all of you. However, the first creature, not character, to go, because one of them rolled higher than all of you, is the Bone Devil that seems to be pulling point with the corrupted that are running through. Because can I get everyone to roll a perception check for me?
You fucked me.
That's a dirty 20.
All right.
16.
14.
Okay. Daisy. Daisy.
9! Roll a
You're
natural 1, motherfuckers!
well with that nat 1. You are more terrified of the fact of like the horde of corrupted that are running forward with the infernals that are coming through the portals, and the abyssal lesser demons that are basically rushing out of the portal like a rampaging horde. But this is what you see at the front of the corrupted horde. A double greatsword wielding corrupted. Yep.
Adorable.
Does he seem to be commanding the horde? or just leading
More-
the charge?
Leading the charge. You gather, if you think of almost like the tip of a spear, he is that tip. He, she, it is the tip of the spear rushing forward. Like, wherever he's, like, moving is where this entire horde is, like, rotating itself. So yeah, there's that. The Bone Devil literally screeches as a bunch of Spine Devils come rocketing their way out of the, out of the Infernal Portals, because it's now, you know, horde on top of horde. On top of horde! As, creatures from the abyss, these awful-looking, rotting, carcass-looking individuals that I've just sent in. That James, upon your just your brief looking into, because you're getting like almost like a headache from the portals that are just
Oh,
like
yeah.
ripping their way up into real space. These are Rutakin. You don't want to be hit by one because they have a high. Well, they can poison you and turn you into a main, a like demon blob like foot soldier that just rush forwards and jumps at people. So it's a horde of them coming out of this abyssal portal, and it's like, one is not a problem. 50 is a bit of a bigger problem.
Bit of an issue there.
Yep, just as there's 35 Spine Devils flying overhead and about to rocket, what looks like a dark cloud of spikes. So, and at this point in time, they're just about to clash. So Yaya, you're up first.
Okay, so
I will say, at the top of the round, none of you have been spotted yet, even though you're literally standing out in the middle of the walkway.
how
Alright,
far
so what do you
away are
do?
these again?
Considering the Balor is about 80 or so feet, they're about 80. The portal's about 85, so about 90-ish, because they're just past that.
Okay. Chubby better. Okay. Mr. Chubby with the two. Oh, actually, no.
The Slaughter Lord.
Yeah, Chubby.
Yeah. Okay. he has a
I'm
grimace
skipping my
only.
next life.
He has a grimace only a mother could love.
Okay. So Yaya's going to cast Mirror Image.
Okay.
Bonus action Blade Song.
Okay.
She's going to walk forward about 15 feet, and then with her rapier, she's just going to draw a line straight in front of her.
Okay.
And then she's just going to wait for them to come.
Oh, is it like a line in the sand saying you don't get past this slide?
Yeah.
Okay. So this badass moment of seeing just hordes on top of hordes of just terror just about to clash into each other, but nah, just not one more step. Hilariously, it's his go. He's going to use his bonus action to move up his speed towards one of the Rutikins, and is going to make 4 dual greatsword attacks. And, yep. So this is not so much if he hits one, this is how many does he go through in those 4 swings. And you just see him just cleave, and it's like this, the smell that comes out of these Rutikin are literally like someone's just taken the worst spice shit that anyone's ever smelled in their entire life. It's that kind of like, like it's literally like, it's, to anyone who can breathe, it's not nice. However, he's End of his turn. Before it gets to Kitty's turn, he's going to use a legendary action to cast a spell. And he's going to cast Flame Strike in the middle of the thing. Which does nothing to the Balor because he's immune to fire, but immediately erupts and, destroys half the Rutikins, but then more just start pouring out. Kitty!
Kitty's gonna do. Well, she's gonna slowly look around. She's slightly drunk and now high.
Right. Okay.
So, probably doesn't realize how much problems they're having.
No. I would say no.
I would say you're just less panicked about it. You're a
Yeah.
lot calmer than you
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first thing she does is say, Chin Chin, you look after her, right? It's a whispered kind of thing with Chin Chin to look after Daisy.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know whisper. He just.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna cast spike growth between me and everything else that's coming towards us.
Okay. Now, for clarification, do you put it in front of Yaya?
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, Yaya's gonna have a few issues. But yeah.
Yeah.
Your spike growth is a little unique. It's not so much like thorn and brambles start breaking their way out of the gravelled ground. Mushrooms start sprouting, but then they start getting, like, cactus-level thorns. So, like, the really, really, if you were to touch one, it would be bad. Basically, these porcupine-like mushrooms start growing out the ground. So...
when she does that, there's the two things going on. Now, darlings, hit. She thinks they're alive.
Oh. Just for my own clarification, she believes that the mushrooms are alive.
Well, they're all in here, right? So
Okay.
it must be.
Interesting.
Okay.
So everything's not quite right.
Okay. So you all hear this, go, attack. And into Kitty's mind, the mushrooms have grown out into myconids and they're just charging into the fray and are like punching people and doing a shit ton of damage. But for everyone else, nothing.
Just mushrooms.
Just mushrooms. Mushrooms with cactus spikes. That's it. Battle does not have legendary actions. The Bone Devil does not have legendary actions. So, James. Besides the colossal headache, what are you gonna do?
First I'm going to. Is there, like any kind of like high grounds nearby that give kind of a higher vantage point?
A little bit of difficult terrain, but immediately to your right, there is a kind of like a very haphazard like walkway. You could do it, but it would take like half your movement if you're being safe about it. But if you don't want to be safe, it requires an acrobatics check, and you can get up about like your full speed up to a higher ground.
I'll do the full speed. That way,
All
I
right,
just
give
get
me
to
an
the highest ground I can.
Yep, give me an acrobatics check.
Ooh, that was close. It's only an 8.
8. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you slip and you fall. As you fall off like 5 feet. Like, you land awkwardly on your ankle. It's not enough to do damage, it's just like...
No, I did do damage. It's just, God
Yeah.
damn it.
But that was your action. to get up there. Well, no, that was your movement. You still have your action, your bonus action.
I wanted to, I guess, make an active perception to see if a certain someone was in any of the armies, specifically the Abyssal armies. She led the things in the vision.
Ruled with an iron fist. Yep, go ahead and give me a perception check.
I don't know if she would be pulled into this battle or not.
Mm.
Motherfucker. Oh wait, perception, I get advantage. That's right.
Yes, you do.
Thank God. That was almost a 3 again. That's a 17 plus 6.
Nothing right now. It's a bunch of chaos, just like, because it's armies colliding into each other while you guys are at like a 90 feet gap. And even though that's a quite high roll, and pinpointing people of like, I see the Bone Devil, I see the Slaughter Lord, I see the Balor there, he's smiling, that's very creepy. Going from point to point to point to point to point to point, and the portal was still open, so the Rushkin is still coming out, so you're like, nothing concrete just yet.
Okay, I just haven't seen Mira at all.
No.
Okay. That was my main concern.
Yeah.
Is her being on this battlefield.
Yeah, you don't see her.
But that'll be my action, because I don't think I have a bonus action I can really use.
I think your bonus actions are between like casting Hunter's Mark, or if you got hit, you can Misty Step away as a defense, but I think that's about it.
Oh, I can activate my weapons. Crimson Right.
Okay. Well, which
So-
Crimson Right did you pick?
The flame.
Now, do you add that to your short sword, or do you add that to your bow?
The bow, I kind of picture it as like basically creating almost like a match flame on the hand that's holding the bow, and just as it draws back arrows, ignites the head, kind of thing.
Yep. You do have that ring, I believe, that you were given by Vampire that allows you to prick yourself. So roll the Hemocraft die for damage, because you take damage to invoke a right.
I do.
Yeet.
It's 3 damage.
Okay, so you've done more damage to yourself.
Good round.
Right now. Yeah, it's a good round. It's a first round. So you have no idea how this is going to work, because obviously this is the first time ever Hemocraft's been shown in this world, and so you prick your thumb on the ring like needle, and you feel a surge as you draw the bow back just to see if it worked, and you watch as the arrow sort of like taps your thumb a little bit, and you watch it just like engulfs into fire.
Oh yeah.
No feeling of magic here. It's just like you feel like it's almost like a force of will from you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Alright, it's time for the Balor's turn. The Balor's immediately going to use his bonus action to teleport 60 feet into the combat, leaving the abyssal rift open. As he immediately appears and is just, like, flame swording a few spine devils, lightning whipping... Well, flame whipping a few, lightning whipping corrupted, and is just... just, like, making his way through. While some of them that try to attack him immediately just engulf into flame and drop dead as burning husks. Because of the fire aura. And James, you are just hearing litanies of abyssal prayer coming out of this Balor. It's unnerving.
That's really unnerving. Oh god.
Yeah, he's literally singing sermons while killing infernals and corrupted.
Just out of my own curiosity, are these are they addressed towards a certain deity?
They're addressed to a demon prince. One of madness and sight. A two-headed abomination.
Okay.
The term Demogorgon comes up more than once.
I would say good to know, but that's not good to know.
Nope, because the thing is, the Infernal book does not mention demon princes, so you have no idea what the fuck that is. Something later. Something to look up later.
Yeah.
something to research. Maybe later.
Something to worry about later.
Yeah, just every time the term Demogorgon gets brought up, and because you can understand the language, your entire body has the adrenaline surge to run. Like it's like because I don't know if James is a fight, flight, or freeze type,
Ooh.
but everything in his instinct is telling him to run.
Yeah.
Every time the name Demogorgon comes up. Okay, that's his go. Daisy!
Question. I'll look
And-
up at the sky. I'm not gonna be happy with what I see, I know. But I'm also looking if there's like maybe a little thunderstorm brewing.
Why?
Just curiosity. Call it morbid curiosity.
Roll a nature check.
Shit. Nature. I am.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Mhm.
Numbers. Fuck. 17.
17? Yes and no.
Alright. Fuck. That's just perfect.
I mean, you're seeing
Is
like
that-
dark clouds beginning to like roll in.
They are not a natural thunderstorm.
No.
Okay. Here's my question for this, because I
Mhm.
want to kind of stay under the radar for at least this round.
Mhm.
There's this lovely little spell called Cold Lightning
Mm-hmm.
that lets me grab control over the weather and
Yep.
using natural storm clouds to sort of power that spell up a little bit, basically.
I am aware of Cool Lightning. It does a lot more damage when you're out in the open.
Yeah. So that's my question. I mean, I can cast the spell, but either does it grab hold of like whatever shit is already happening in the sky, or is it like a loose cannon in there?
Considering the location that you are, you can cast it and find out.
Shit.
Because if you recall, you are in a very arcane, heavy, charged mountain range, as the Twilight Peaks, you know, in the previous campaign were very known for. The colossal, like even the simplest of cantrips can do various things extra.
Well, this
And
is
yes-
gonna be fun.
And yes, that also goes for the mirror image and the spike growth. Because those mirror images seem to not be mirroring your movements, Yaya. They seem to be looking at you waiting for instruction. And that spike growth, Kitty, seems to be growing out a bit more. And a little bit more.
Perfect.
And a little bit more.
Oh, perfect. You know, I'm just gonna go with the age-old saying called YOLO. I'm gonna
Okay.
do it.
Alright, so you cast Cool Lightning. You
Yeah.
you feel the ozone in the upper atmosphere. You like root yourself to the ground almost. Your hand like twitches with like static, almost in the palm of your hand. You're like, oh, that's never happened before. As you kind of like look up and you start seeing
That's screwed.
as go ahead and just roll a D100 and D10.
Which dice set is gonna be nice to me?
I will point out, low or high, different things will happen. So it doesn't matter which dice you roll.
No, but one dice set has been apparently going with the fuck you theme, and the other dice set is going like, you know what, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
That is cocked. That is still cocked.
Why must you fail me?
I'm split a little in the middle. 69.
Okay,
Nice.
nice.
I don't know if that's nice.
It's 69. Of course, it's nice.
No, it's probably it will probably fuck me in a few different ways.
I know he didn't, but I would love if Jake had put a special roll for 69,
Yeah.
just specifically for the number 69.
Okay, so 69 you said. So we're going to add 6th to 9th level spells.
Oh no. Somebody please shoot me. I'm scared.
What? Why? It's fine.
I'm scared.
It's fine.
No, it's probably not. You're really looking at things, and that's not good usually. And I
Well,
should really stop doing that because I'm breaking the pen.
you know when you're trying to find that one thing? Just that one thing.
Yeah, I usually have it when I'm trying to find my character sheet.
Yep. Okay, come on. Okay. So, the lightning seems to coalesce, and that will be your turn. So you have Call Lightning up.
A bonus action.
Yeah, you still have your bonus action.
I'm gonna just kind of go tiger.
Okay, so you wild shape into a saber-toothed tiger.
That gives me 52 hit points on top
Smart.
of my 11.
I
Maybe I
will
can
say
last a round.
I will say that's what you see starting to form in the thunder and lightning spiral.
Oh no. Where?
In your corner.
Oh no. Oh no.
That was so. Oh no.
So that you see that.
Y'all,
Like
was
starting-
nice knowing you. Was nice knowing you. I'm gonna skip my next 3 lives.
Why?
Cause, shit.
This place is a weird and wacky thing with magic. Anyway, that's round 1. Top of the round, see if any of the monsters spot you. No. So still looking good.
Question, real quick, Jake.
Uh-huh.
Just a technicality, really. In
Mhm.
wild shape, would I roll a concentration check with the constitution of my wild shape or myself?
Yourself.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Legendary action from as Jackson breaks out of the mountain and uses a legendary action to bolster, so all of you gain 10 temporary hit points.
Yippee.
As he lands in front of all of you going, are we fighting or are we running?
That means I've got 62 temporary hit points.
Yep, and each of you gain advantage on any d20 test until the end of your next turn.
Use that on that acrobatics check earlier.
I know. Just saying.
Just that.
Just saying. Jackson could have come in like 6 seconds earlier.
Could have come in earlier. Maybe take a nap on the
But
rocks.
he's literally
Can I come
there.
sooner?
He's literally there with his like sacred morning star that's like glowing with radiant energy. Like, we're running or we fighting? Like, with bear in mind, he's got like this massive indent in his face where he got backhanded. So, not his best moment. But yeah, that's his turn. That's all he can do because he rolled a 39 on his goddamn roll. So it's like, yeah. But Chit Chit is standing in front of the tiger with like the daggers like spinning them around, getting ready to stab someone, getting ready to stab a bitch. If anyone tries to come near his mama's friend, partner, wife, list goes on and on and on. Flower, yeah. Right, time for the Bone Devil. The Bone Devil goes like head first into the Balor and starts like trying to claw at him and stab him. The poison does literally nothing to him. Like, he gets stabbed and he just starts laughing. Because Balor.
What's the size difference between these two?
Bone Devil is a large, whereas a Balor is huge. So it's like a torso to head over the Bone Devil. But all of you get like a front row seat to how this is happening here. You can only imagine what it's like on other planes. Because bear in mind, this is a small skirmish, and it's a brutal thing. Like, Rutikins using that mouth arm to, like, bite into Spine Devil heads and rip them off. Spine Devils, like, stabbing repeatedly with pitchforks. Corrupted that are basically just ghouls that just running forward and, like, clawing at things, but incinerating themselves while they do it. It's chaotic, to say the least. But yeah, that's his go. It's time for the Slaughter Lord. He stabs down on a Spine Devil that's meant to be his ally, but this is an insane corrupted. As he cleaves through him, and just slowly in the moment, there's like a slow moment where he just locks eyes with Yaya and sees the line in the ground. Pulls the great sword up and just points it at her as he cleaves through a Rutigan that's about to attack him. That's his turn. But he gets all his legendary actions back. Kitty! You are muted! Happens to all of us.
Happens to the best of us.
Kitty's looking out at everything and just goes, "Oh, having a bit of a party. Oh, interesting." And I look around. Is there anything close to me dead?
No.
Me! Almost!
You don't count, you're still breathing.
Shit.
I take some of the bones that we were packing.
Yep.
And I cast Animate Dead on them.
Okay.
Through one of my daggers. And I'm like, "Go help your brother Chin Chin. I think he needs some help with that tiger and protect her."
Okay, so these pile of bones like roll out, and you see it goes and like shifts into like a full skeleton. Looks down, yanks the dagger out of his ribcage, and just like runs in reverse because his legs are in reverse until they spin around. And then gets up to where the tiger is and just like gets ready with a dagger. It's just a skeleton.
And then I concentrate on my mushrooms that are moving, and I'm playing like a psychedelic song in my head, and I'm grooving with the music and everything.
Okay. Even though there's no music, but fine. Even though there's music in here.
Yeah.
It's like a nice like elven like Sean being played, and it's like this nice hippie 60s vibe. Just you start like flowing with it, but to everyone else you're just kind of like just like the most like.
I imagine to the others it looks like my hands are what's caused the skeletons to move, but really they're just moving.
Yep. And you notice that one of the Rutikins is like mouth punching a Spine Devil as out from one of the walls, a mushroom-like grasping vine just wraps around and yanks him into the wall. It just crushes that lesser demon into the ground. Okay, James, you gonna attempt to climb them? Climb. Oh, Yaya, my deepest apologies, Yaya. Yaya, your
Okay.
turn. My apologies to that.
How far away is that? What was it? The storm demon who's looking at me?
You mean the Slaughter Lord, the corrupted commander? He's about 85 feet right now because he's like trying to push his way forward.
She's going to fly 30 feet towards him, so she's still over the
The spikes.
yeah.
Okay.
And she's going to sort of pull out of her belt these 10 shards that she's got fixed together.
Okay. Oh no.
The prismatic, so it counts as the prismatic, and she's just going to have a look at her mirror images and see if they've pulled something out similarly.
They've looked at you and they follow suit, and each of them, like almost like in a lag state, like pull out each an individual thing. Like
Okay.
one pulls out a black orb, another one pulls out like just a standard shard, another one pulls out a dragon skull.
And she's going to sort of like look at the Stormlord, and she's going to lob this thing straight towards him.
Okay, go ahead and roll. You're doing like a group athletics check to do a thrown attack.
Yeah, any AoE stuff's gonna do real good here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too fucking sure about that with my lightning cloud.
It's gonna do better than it would in normal situations.
Yep. This is not a you could take them on one at a time. This is like if you have AoEs, AoEs is a good
Good
use.
Yeah.
Am I adding dex onto this?
Dex or strength. I will let you pick.
Dex onto. Do I get proficiency?
I would say yeah.
Okay, so that's 8. That's a 25. Because I've got advantage on that, haven't I?
Oh, that's right, you did because of the bolster. So you throw this like prismatic crystal shard grenade.
Yeah.
As an ice cream truck comes driving by. Just out of nowhere, just a gnome. Just driving by. So it like collides with his chest and stabs in. And then a normal dragon skull just cracks him over the side of the head. This dark orb like hovers in front of him as this shard like embeds in his shoulder. And he kind of like staggers back a little bit and stabs like two of his own corrupted with his greatswords. Looks down as this thing just as this prismatic shard like cluster begins to glow. Begins to get brighter as the orb of Dark Star solidifies and expands, creating a black hole. Well, the spell black hole. But it doesn't do anything overly bad. But there's gonna now be like this sheen.
I can't be blamed for that one because I hadn't got one of those.
I didn't do that.
I'll blame you for a whole lot of other things. Don't worry.
And the prismatic, oh boy,
Oh boy.
this very beautiful ray of radiant sunshine like goes onto the battlefield, as that's a anchor point for a meteor swarm.
I'm gonna fucking blame you for that. You know that, right?
The thing is, because of the Dark Star, none of it's going to hit any of you because it's going to get absorbed into this black hole that's expanding. It is going to hit everything else. So I'm just going to need everyone to roll a dexterity saving throw. You are not taking damage, just to see if you can stand on your feet when the impact hits.
I'm already down an ankle.
Oh yes!
Might as well lose the other.
Is this against a magic effect?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know why, but no.
23.
Oh, my elder Tempest gets caught in the blast. Dang it. The thing
22.
that...
The
Okay,
thing that
23,
Kitty was
22,
Yeah.
23, 22.
I
Daisy, what'd you roll?
Nat
20.
Go for it
That was 24.
for me.
Okay, 24 for a nat 20, 23, 22. Daisy?
So, you might just want to hit me with some damage because I rolled a natural 1.
Was
For
this...
No.
4.
You go prone. That's all that happens. This is like if you stay on your feet or not.
I got bruises.
I thought the saber-tooth tiger had pretty good dexterity.
Oh wait, that's right.
Yeah.
Hold on, but I still
And you
rolled
also-
a natural 1.
It's a natural 1, but it could be better.
But I would also like to
It
point
would have
out
been
you
a
do
plus
get
3.
I do want to point out you do also have advantage on this roll because of the bolster
Oh.
that Jackson did.
In that
Oh.
case, let me roll again. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Nat
Jackson
20.
used. There we go. Thank you. And Jackson used one of Delita's own resistances just to remain standing. And Chit rolled a 2 and immediately falls flat on his face. Just like.
That was a natural 1. I was like, I've got 4 fucking legs and I'm still falling.
Yep. So there's a hit. Oh, the normal skeleton. Yeah, he falls flat on the face.
Blown apart.
Well, when I say he goes prone, I mean he scatters a bit and then just reshuffles himself and then gets up.
Like Legos.
Cool.
Yeah, literally like Legos. I will say he pulls like I will say he uses his free arm to pull his extra arm like out and like make sure it's like down properly. But there's a pause of silence as all of you like instinctively shut your eyes from the blinding bright light that's just happened.
Well, about
And-
that. I got
Yeah,
the robe of
about.
eyes.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh no, because you have a thing that happens when.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, baby.
So you just go like you're like, huh? Okay.
Yep. I cover these eyes, not the rest of them.
Yeah, but you get you unfortunately get blinded, like I would say at least 12 seconds, like 2 rounds worth. I'd say that's. Because I think you get blinded. I can't recall.
It's blinded for 1 minute, and I can make a saving throw at the end of each of my turns.
Okay, well I'm gonna say we're not in combat right now, for very obvious reasons. So after about a minute, your eyesight comes back through the robes of eyes, and you're like blinking very heavily because you just got flashbanged in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake, you ruined my combat.
You should have let him have magic grenades.
You just there. Because it was not only that, because when the meteor swarm hit, it then activated the arcane wild magic that's in the vicinity,
So it
then
amplified the meteor swarm.
Yeah, amplified the meteor swarm to becoming an antimatter swarm that effectively vaporized everything. But the funny thing is about demons and devils, obviously none of your characters, but obviously in common knowledge of D&D, they just go back to their original plane. But the Horde Corrupted are just like, it's like there's a nice layer of ash as like the Dark Star dissipates. The abyssal portal's gone. You see body parts that are fused to the walls.
Did the blast go through the portals at all?
It did. Yep. That's what shattered them.
Mhm.
So there's a bit of a there might be a response from that. Who knows?
Might have pissed off some people there.
Yep, as well as it went through the 9 Hells portals. So there's that. As you all just stare as this like blue mushroom cloud, very familiar, I'd imagine, to you, Ryan. It's massive blue nuclear mushroom cloud of arcane explosion. Just
I just kind of hold up my thumb, bigger than my thumb.
Well, you're 90 feet away. The only reason why you didn't get caught in the blast zone was because the Dark Star was just absorbing like all the explosion from you guys. So that's what saved your life. As all of you stare in the silence, you then just hear this as like corrupted who got flung land back into the mountains.
Oh.
Some of them, you see this awful thing where they get sheared in half by sharp rocks, and like their body parts just start rolling down the mountains. And you see Jackson's there, eyes wide, going, "Maybe start with that next time." Like this is just like aimlessly pointing, even though Yaya is in front of him. He's pointing behind him. Yes.
How did my friend in the sky fare?
Oh, he got incinerated. he got caught in the blast wave. Well, I would like to point out the Elder Tempest would have attacked you as well. And that's a CR-23 monster. You don't want that thing coming at you.
I appreciate even without an artificer, we still have nuclear weapons being made.
Well,
Magical
very
nuclear.
specific circumstances.
It ain't my fault.
You created the components for that. It's just I
I
fixed them all together.
I just cast a thing called Druidcraft, and it just makes some pretty little illusions and things.
Jesus, if she can create that with a cantrip, think what she can create with something higher level.
So in that moment, in the silence, as these body parts and like bodies are actually like crumbling to the ground, one of them lands like 10 feet in front of you, James, and you just see like arcane blue burns like all across the body.
And that's probably when the blindness is starting to wear off, and they just
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, like in that moment of like, I can imagine like a reflex like arrow
Yeah.
shot immediately into the dish.
shot an arrow, just stuck into it.
Yeah, it's like, it's dead. I got it.
Got it.
It was already dead.
Now, where did all the party guests go? I thought this was like turning into like a big forest party. Everybody's gone.
At which point, you hear running from behind you as you all turn around and see some of the convoyers run back, going, "What did all of you do?"
Y'all are idiots.
Like pointing at. Well, you first.
Why have you come back? You're supposed to be running.
That.
Go, leave.
At that point, they do turn around and start rushing back. They were like, "Did you all survive? Okay, cool. Yep, we're leaving."
Oh.
I imagine them just cresting the mountain and then seeing the huge mushroom cloud.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
oh, we gotta check on that.
Yep, and then
No,
okay,
you don't.
At which point,
Yeah,
Jackson.
run towards the nuclear explosion.
At which point, Jackson just kind of like turns to all of you, just going, "Should we leave?"
The whole party guests gone. Maybe
Well, I
we
think
should.
they just reset the counter, so another minute.
Yeah, I just pulls another one from her belt and says, "Well, at least we know what these do now." And then puts it back.
Well, the demons could come back. So
Might be
should
time
go.
to go.
Yeah, we should
Should
go.
go.
We should go.
Time.
Jackson,
Oh, by the
he's
way,
kind of,
I
it's
wasn't
kind of like
really talking in because I was.
No,
a
you were
tiger,
quiet.
so
You're
they
still
just
in
had a
tiger
very
form.
angry tiger growling at them
Yeah.
when they came back.
Yep.
I made Chin Chin a brother, everyone.
It's great, Kitty.
Good job. Good job.
He did good.
You just see the tiger do.
the tiger could face palm with a. I will also say, you all just hear this like slow clap.
Look in the direction of where that clapping's coming from.
You see your brother. Well done. Even I must admit that was impressive.
How far away is he?
Didn't I just throw
About
Yaya
90.
over?
He's about 90 feet.
I say I've got a range of 600 feet, so
Yeah, if you want to fire an arrow,
I could take a
absolutely
shot
fire an
at
arrow.
him. But I'll give
Yeah,
him.
if you
I'll
want
give
to.
him
And I
a chance to monologue.
Oh, I won't. Lightning.
Oh, do you call lightning
Yeah.
him?
Can you cast
Okay,
it in
No.
Druid shape?
They can.
Ah.
Yeah.
No, I can't cast. But if I'm concentrating on a spell, I can use my action
Oh, to reuse-
activate.
yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
That's why I start a concentration spell and then wild shape.
Smart.
Well, he
Sometimes I am.
rolled a 24.
That makes it. But it's still. Is it like
He still takes half
empowered
damage.
or not? Is it
Um,
empowered or not?
it is.
There's- Nice.
So even though he succeeded, he's still going to take the full points of damage.
Yeah, it's 4d10 then instead of 3
Mhm.
because
You're
oh,
outside.
God.
Is it boosted by the effects of the magical area?
Yes, it is.
Hold on, I'm gonna just write down math because I can't math.
Well, all of this is happening. I'm
Mhm.
picking up body parts and feeding it to the keys.
So you pick up like a hand and like put it towards the keys, and the keys just like.
Kitty, you could just set the keys down and let the keys kind of do their thing.
I pet the keys and I put them down and let them start eating stuff around us.
The key's like there for a moment before it like shape shifts into a hand and just like crawls over to one, and
Yaya's
then a mouth appears on the palm and just like
A
grabbing something.
starfish.
Yeah.
Yaya's going to fly straight towards him and launch a fireball.
Okay. He's not going to dodge that one. He's just going to take it to the face.
Are the images doing anything?
No, the images were caught in the blast.
Oh, okay.
they kind of went. So what was the total damage, Daisy?
I rolled a 22 on 4d10.
Okay. So he takes the full-blown 22 damage. And he's like, no, that was just a little bit. As he takes no damage because he's immune to fire.
It's lightning.
No, the fireball. Yeah.
That's
Because
their
I
fireball.
he's
didn't hear them. I
Yeah.
didn't really notice that very actively because I was trying to do numbers.
So as the lightning bolt like cracks in like around him doing the damage, and he goes, now that was as the explosion goes off. And he kind of just goes
Just more of an insult than anything else.
yeah, really. He's just standing there with his pitchfork. Really?
Fuck it, why not? I want to take a shot with the cataclysm arrow.
Oh god. Okay.
I was preparing to do that with the armies, but then they were gone, so...
So, man, alright.
Fair enough.
Look, I was trying to say as long as the arrow gets fired.
It's a 19 to hit.
19 does hit. Do you roll to see what damage a cataclysm arrow
It does
does?
standard damage, and then I roll a d6 for the extra
Yeah,
effect.
then it does. You better hope you don't get fire. Otherwise,
Yeah, I know. That's a 1 or a
that's just
2 on
gonna- Yeah, that's gonna add insult to
It
injury.
will. I'm hoping it's not that, but you know, what can you do? An 8 on a D8 is pretty good though.
Okay,
So that
Yeah.
is a total of. I can do math with this. 14 piercing.
Okay. And what's the damage element?
Let's see. Well, it's not just element, it does special effects depending on the roll.
Okay, so what's the
It's a
special
5.
effect? Okay.
5 is gonna be the bolt. The bolt
Oh,
releases a
no.
pulse of necrotic energy. The target takes 2d6 necrotic damage and must succeed on a DC 16 strength save, or be stunned until the end of my next turn.
What's the DC?
DC 16.
I rolled a 4 with a plus 10 to his strength.
He's
So
stunned.
he's stunned. As he's like, as I was like
a stun
it's
gun.
just like how does he take damage? The
He
2d6
does. He
necrotic,
takes
okay.
9 necrotic damage.
Okay. I like the fact this guy's like, I'm just trying to have a conversation. It's like, nah,
No.
stop talking. Okay.
Sorry, I started it.
And then
That is
for
like
my second attack
the level
action,
of sass that I can do.
Okay.
with a standard arrow this time.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 16 plus 11. 27
Well, you have
to hit.
advantage. You have advantage because he's stunned.
Oh, you're right.
I'm just pointing
God.
that out.
So it's 27 to hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that hits.
that's only 8 piercing.
Okay.
It's something.
He can't move.
No, he can't. Kitty, is there anything that you want to do in this moment that you just dogpile on this
You
guy?
say let the man speak. I will fight.
Kitty's over on her side, talking to the creatures that she's created,
Right.
and then she just yells, "You don't make a really good beat with your hand. You need to take some musical classes at some point." And she just thinks it's funny, but she will she will cast an entangle at him.
Well, he can't. He's stunned, so he can't move. So he's now restrained.
Yeah.
So his
Just 'cause
movement his movement is now 0.
Yeah.
As mushroom fungi roots like grab onto his crooked infernal feet.
And then I go back to paying attention to Chin Chin's brother,
Anyways,
and George,
Any,
cleaning up
Chit-Chit,
body parts around us.
yeah, Chit-Chit's actually gonna throw his 3 daggers at the guy.
Cool.
Chit-Chit's
He's
more
gonna-
aware of what's happening than Kitty is.
Probably.
That's an 18, so that hits. So he takes 4 points of piercing damage. Because fuck it. He hits again, does an extra 4. So this guy's just like, I was trying to say something, and he's just getting dogpiled on.
Sorry, his lips can't move.
Yeah, sorry, what? What? There's 3 daggers go rampaging into the guy. Jackson just kind of stands there and goes, just kind of like wondering what to do. Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we are.
Yeah. He was
We are.
he was leading the corrupted fellows.
Oh, and he literally looks and opens his hand, and a bolt of divine energy just goes like cracking towards him. And with the natural 20, he does 70 points of radiant damage. And he can immediately cast it. He can immediately cast it again. Taking the 10, so it's 25. Takes 35 points of radiant damage. And these 2 blasts rip his wings off. And it's just like, oh, I can still do that. Just like nonchalant about it. Okay. Yeah, I would say you're up next.
Okay. So she moved 30 towards. She's going to fly straight towards him.
Okay. You still have blade. You still have blade song up. I will say that you're coming up to the tail end of it, but it's still up.
Okay, she's going. Can she get into melee with him?
I would say so.
Okay, she's going to attack him.
Yeah, and you hear in your head as he's staring at you, eyes wide, like shaking because he's stunned. Like, I only wanted to, and just immediately going for him. I love the fact he's like, I came here to talk, and I've just been stunned, entangled, hit with radiant damage, shot twice, three arrows, lightning bolted, now stabbed.
Is that bolster still up?
Is the what?
Bolster still up?
No. Used. You get the one. You get the one use. You still have the 10 temporary hit points though, but you had the one use.
Okay, so that's 17 plus. Because the second dice was a 20, but first one's just 17 plus that. 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so she's going to stab him with her Celestian rapier.
Okay.
And she's going to release all 6 levels of dice on it.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
Got a feeling
Oh,
you and
you
your
rolled
brother
that-
got some.
You rolled that with advantage, right? Because he is stunned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, then
Yeah.
I did get the 20.
Was that a natural 20?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I rolled a 17 and a natural 20.
And now we wait a good 2 minutes for Yaya to roll all her dice.
Guess I don't need my notepad today.
You might, because there might be
Might.
some conversation and lore drops, but you can say.
How many dice is that in total?
4d6 per level. Or I guess,
Yeah,
and then double it.
yeah. It's
Per level.
46. It's 46 per level, and you're dropping a 6th level smite. So that's 24 d6s on top of the.
Doubled for the
That's all doubled. That's all
Then
doubled.
you double it, yeah.
Yeah, then you double it.
is that
You also
48?
Yes, it is.
And
Okay.
then there's-
Then there's your d8 on top
Oh.
of that.
Well, he's immune to fire damage, so it would just be the 2d6 radiant then.
Okay,
That's
so then
just
you just got 24. Yeah,
so
24.
24.
That's 12, 17 on the first one. Hang on, I'm just going to get a notepad.
So all of you see this beautiful, thin, steelito rapier. Very beautiful, very celestial, angelic looking. And it just casually just goes through the Horn Devil like he's not even there. And there's a pause before all of you see out the other side. It's like immediate like ripple effect as it's like 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line, 5 line. It's just like these radiant lines going all across this infernal body.
Pretty sure this didn't go to plan for him.
No, I'm pretty sure he came here to gloat and then plane shift away, saying until we meet
Oh.
again. And,
Oh,
and
I
literally
know
all of
that
you-
for a fact that he was gonna do that.
Yeah, because he's a devil. And
He's a
literally, and immediately all of you are like, "Shut up!"
I've
Just like-
dealt with devils. I know how they are.
I'm gonna just do a little confession. I started that by I mean, somebody said I'm gonna let him monologue, and I was like,
No,
but I'm not.
like I'm pissed.
I mean, Daisy isn't very sassy, but that was probably like her sassiest moment so far.
It doesn't help when she's all like he's proned and he's sitting there wrapped in like mushroom vines, holding him.
Mushroom Vine standing there, stunned, unable to do anything, and is literally in all of your heads going, like, just the blood-curdling scream that rips through everyone's heads right now is like horrifying yet equally satisfying hearing a devil scream in panic.
Hi.
Okay, what's the total?
You'll get this. Nelson?
Just tell me the number.
For those who are not familiar with cricket, 111.
So, there's a moment when you pull the blade out and this, like, white flame, like, follows it out. And that's not flame coming from the blade, it's his own blood incinerating. And you watch as the stun fades, as he immediately then starts screaming and ripping into his own chest. As he then looks forward, and as he tries to reach for Yaya in a moment of, like, primal savagery, his hand explodes. Then his arm, and then his eyeballs burst and rupture. White flame comes out of his ears as you watch him just like disintegrates into a sulfurous smoke.
Guess he might not be going back to hell, or wherever he's come from. And be at peace, brother.
Unfortunately, he did not leave his searing fork or any of the gear that he might have carried. It just all dissipated.
Yeah, that's a worthy sacrifice.
Yeah.
If you're taking a player like him off the board, yeah.
As Jackson just like goes, that was awesome. just witnessing a Celestian blade being used for the first time in months. Days, true. But like in a combat setting. Like particularly when it does something like this. Because bear in mind, the weapon in your hand, Yaya, as you look down to it, you get the gravity of what this weapon was used for. Properly.
I think she's just... her mind's overwhelmed by the fact that she's just put her brother at peace.
I will say you look around, and the air's a little bit colder now. As all of you kind of like look up, and it's starting to snow.
Jesus, we got teleported to
Canada. No.
I do still have my spell active, right?
You do.
Shit. Can I kind of connect and see if that snow's coming from that?
Well, funny you should mention that, because you look up and you see this like as 20 feet to your right, James, a snow lightning bolt cracks into the ground. So do you guys want to stick around, or do you guys want to leave?
I ain't about to fight the weather.
Kitty picks up her keys, or whatever shape they are now.
Well, they shapeshift back into the keys.
She puts it back on her belt and she goes, "Kids, we gotta go."
Come on, kids.
To be fair, you see, she just has his mouth open and just snow falling into his mouth. He's like, "Arr." just like walking away with a mouthful of snow.
Somebody said I ain't about to fight the weather.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to fight the weather. I'm the one casting the fucking spell. I'm gonna see if I can push back.
Go ahead and give me. This is a willpower save. So this is your wisdom save. No, actually, Constitution save. Versus.
That makes a lot of difference. I would much rather do like a spell check.
Nope. This is a contest of wills.
No, not you.
No, not you.
I'm gonna fight the weather. I'm gonna be that idiot. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Constitution, not wisdom. Constitution. Shit.
Yeah, Constitution.
That's a little less great. $13, $15, $16, $17.
Beats it by 1.
I beat the weather.
Well, not quite.
I beat the weather!
You've shown that your willpower is stronger than the entity that's controlling it. So yes, you did beat the weather. As the Elder Tempest, this monumental and destructive force,
Are they getting the image that I just got?
Yep.
Alright, I don't need to look.
I don't know if we want to look.
I mean, it's a gorgeous image. Don't get me wrong, it's a gorgeous image.
Ooh.
That's cute.
That's cute.
But I kind of felt like if that is a huge thing circling around in the cloud, I'm
it's
pretty
classed
sure
as
I'm not happy.
It's classed as a gargantuan elemental. So, you know, pretty big. As
yeah,
it
I'm gonna
Wave at it.
face off.
as it basically like spirals its way down, as like lightning and snow is hitting the ground and forming like weird shards of like crystal like hitting the ground and solidifying, like hardened stone like ripping into crystal.
I'm just standing there.
Well,
I'm not moving.
Well,
I'm
are you?
just-
Have you wild shaped out of your tiger form, or are you?
Good question. I would say that I would have shifted back into
Okay.
my normal self.
So it spirals down, hits the ground, and like drags its lightning and snow covered form, and gets that far away with the tip of its nose. It's filled.
I would have said as he was coming down, like, y'all move, get back. At least you don't have to go all the way away, but at least step back a bit.
Yep, and all of you feel like all of your hair is beginning to like stand up through the static in the air. As
Well,
it's
imagine that knee-long hair that Daisy has just floating
Yep.
around her like that. Oh
Yep.
shit!
and all of you see it's a beautiful yet terrifying elemental, filling up the entire like ridge of this mountain range, like cracking into the stone itself. Kind of there tilting its head to like look at you and then look at all of you individually. And you sense that there is not intelligence, but a lot of wisdom in this entity. As hilariously, he has a 2 to his intelligence, but a 21 to his wisdom. So the lights are on, but
We're
not
about
many.
equal. We're
Yeah.
almost equals in wisdom.
Yeah, the lights are
I
on,
got a
but
20 in
not
wisdom,
much.
so yeah.
Not much is there.
I can't do math very well.
No, but it can.
Same, brother, same.
It can understand the complexities of the universe. It just can't do
I mean,
basic
I've got
maths.
a 12 on intelligence and a 20 on wisdom. I'm wiser than I'm smart.
Yeah. Druids. As it kind of just like. Then it's you get there. It's trying to figure something out. Like it's trying to understand something. as it then begins to slowly back away.
I look at it and wave. Bye, little friend.
Yeah, to Kitty, it's an adorable little like grass snake, like teeny tiny. I don't think she fully comprehends the fact that this is like filling up the entire mountain range, causing, and I quote, a 10-mile wide lightning storm above. Like nearly the entire length range of the mountain pass.
I just maintain eye contact and try to not look as scared as I am at the moment.
Yeah, and it kind of just like backs up, rears its head up like a snake, like a cobra, as it flares out these thunderous, like feathers, and then just like goes up at 120 feet per second into the sky, and you see it just disappear as the lightning storm dissipates almost instantly. And you feel
at that point in time, I would let it go anyway.
Yeah, as you let go of the spell, you feel the strength of your legs give out, and you literally go to your knees because that was an impressive amount of willpower to go up against to the literal living embodiment of a lightning bolt.
I just kind of sit on the floor for a hot second there, just kind of go. Oy, oy, oy.
Did anybody else see that snake fly?
I think your better question would be: did anybody else not see that snake fly?
Oh, okay, everybody did. All right.
At which point, Yaya will just walk over to James, see that he's limping badly, drape his arm over her shoulder, and help him walk away.
I'm good.
Because I think leaving here is still the best idea.
Oh, leaving here is the best option by far.
I noticed that, and I'm like, do you want help? The children can help you.
I'm good.
With her, Yaya puts back one of those prismatic things that she pulled out when she saw that thing flying down to back on her head. And then points at Daisy. I think she needs some help. You know, your friend.
Yeah. I walk over and like
The one on her knees.
Darling, I think we gotta go. The children can help you, or I can. I know it was a real pretty bird and all, but we don't have time to be praying to the birds right now. I love you a lot, darling. You know you are my flower. You are the most precious rose in any garden I've ever seen.
I just put my hand over her mouth. I just need to see if my legs will do what I ask. Just give me a hot second. As I think all the gods I know about for giving me some strength, and I just kind of like squeeze my legs.
Yep.
Just kind of like slap him and try to get up.
Yeah, you have a bit of
like a fool.
Yeah, you have a bit of pins and needles in your legs, but other than that, you can stand up pretty well.
Oh. Now that some of y'all might not want to fight the weather. That was kind of cool. I beat the weather.
You're spending too much time with Kitty.
And you've spent too much time with idiots.
See, this is why I call her Rose. She's got some thorns on her occasionally, and they come out of nowhere. She's the most beautiful thing. but she does have thorns.
You should also know that you also hang around with idiots a little too much. Both of you hang out with idiots a little bit too much.
We're party idiots. Now let's move.
Yeah.
My legs aren't
but
going as fast as I.
It takes
my
some.
legs-
It takes a minute, but eventually you get back to like.
It takes me a minute because, you know, I got those rubber legs going for me right now, and it's not because of a fun thing.
But eventually, all of you, upon very quickly, catch up with the rest of the convoy. Some of them are bewildered, some of them are looking fearful of you, and others are in awe. Particularly Mason, who actually has a look of pride towards you. Daisy.
Oh no. You drop that face fast.
He looks away, but he still has that look of pride.
I said drop the face, not look the other way.
Can't help it.
Yes, you can.
But all of you, and eventually Kitty, as sad as it is, the alcohol and the substance leaves. So you become sober.
And my madness sets in again.
Mm-hmm.
Big, flying, wings, bird, not bird, snake, dead, undead, demon, 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 demon,
You know,
dead.
this ain't much different from when she was high. It's just faster.
True. I'm just thinking the same thing.
Fair point.
Demon fox.
I just
Bad. Trunk bad. Don't look trunk bad.
I feel like you need a sip, darling.
And it isn't long, even through the mutterings of one slightly insane kitty. You all go around a corner, finding no issues in your travel. You emerge out the southern exit of the mountain range. And for the first time in a long time for all of you, green, verdant plains as far as the eye can see. Evergreen pine forests miles off. There seems to be what looks like... Nah, couldn't be. Smoke coming from what looks like a town.
There's still
Looks
one
about
wild shape left.
looks about
Yeah,
3 days. Looks about 3 days away. So a bit far.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Maybe when you're closer, potentially. But James, you just feel this knock on the back of your head.
I think
Oh,
I reflexively
shit.
like do this and like kind of look around.
And you see a very familiar tail curl around a tree.
Just gonna try and just kind of. Are we traveling or have we stopped?
I think at this point you would have stopped to make camp.
Okay.
Just because it's on like actual green pastures, like the horses have somewhere to graze and the dogs have something to like. There's actually a red freshwater river stream that people are literally like just gulping in. And it's fresh and there's no bacteria and there's no parasites in it. Upon, you know, Danders checking it relentlessly and still checking it while people are drinking it. But you have a moment just to slip away.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of just like I said slip away.
Mhm. And staring out into the plains where that village is, you see. Keep wanting to get the name right. Well, your ex-wife.
Josephine.
Yeah, Josephine. Got reckless red.
You say it like you ain't reckless.
I'm careful with my recklessness.
No such thing. What they call it, the oxymorons.
Can sense you briefly.
Had to run in with some less than savory characters.
I noticed.
I also got through some unfortunate experimenting with one of our more charismatic people.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up getting a vision. Why didn't you tell me?
Didn't think you would be able to stand it.
I mute it.
You didn't mute.
Oh shoot! Sorry, guys.
Fuck!
There you go.
You would have demanded for me to take you. And you are definitely not ready to traverse the abyss as it is now.
I may not be ready to traverse the abyss, but I think I'd at least deserve to know.
You'll carry our secrets, right? I didn't know how to bring up what happened.
You know, I thought she was gone for the longest time. And I find out she's actually alive. And then I think, oh, that's wonderful. I'm just over the moon. And then I find out you hit the part where she's a bit more grown. That she has lived a life.
Time works exceedingly differently in the abyss. When you told me what happened, I thought she was also gone. Until I got a contract. Stumbled upon her. I didn't know how to reach her. And I didn't exactly want to bring it up without trying it my way first.
What exactly is your way?
Trying to convince her to come home.
I don't think she's in a position to make that agreement.
No. But like I said, I was trying. I didn't want to. I was still mad at you for what you did.
Hell, I'm mad at me still, too. Okay? But you know how contracts are. Better than me. And you know she can't just leave it.
I'm aware. But there are loopholes to every contract. There always is. There's always ways to infernus and void, which is to make a contract null. There are always ways.
then why not ask for my help with trying to figure out a way to get around this contract?
Because you were the one who made the contract without thinking about all the ins and outs.
Don't you think I at least deserve the chance to try and make it right?
When I felt you had earned it.
How can I earn it? How could I possibly earn that?
I don't know. Okay, I why'd you have to make everything so complicated for me, Red? It was very simple before we had our daughter, and now I don't know how to break the contract that you made. It's very ironclad and worked in your patron's favor rather than your own.
Well, the one I made the contract with is no longer present. So the contract was inherited to her successor, right?
To the Lord of Pain, yes.
So surely that transfer of contract opens up loopholes of some kind.
It does. And in order to figure out what those loopholes are, it's actually going to the person who has the contract and trying to negotiate. Because they might always let slip of a loophole.
So why not tell me that? I made the contract. I have to go to them.
Roll an insight check.
That is 18.
I rolled a 3 for deception. You know your ex-wife in and out. You knew her well, knew her better. Know her well enough to know that she is being spiteful and petty. And she just doesn't want to admit it. You are aware that she is a devil. Part of her nature is being selfish and being impulsive in that regard. It's one of the many reasons why you balanced each other out. It's now stopping her out of pride, ego. You're not sure. I can handle this on my own.
Nice sounding like
If
me.
you... Well, I learned from the best.
You saw how well that went for me, didn't it? I can't undo what I did. Only thing I can do is live with it and try to make it better. If you just let me try.
Roll persuasion check.
Wow. Do not have a lot of persuasion. That's only 13.
Not this time, Red. I do it my way, you can try and do it your way. See which one of us gets our daughter home first.
You don't have a way. You say
I'll
you're
find
looking
one.
into loopholes, but you say it's ironclad. There are no loopholes. Well, the only way to get a loophole is to have the person who made the contract talk to them. See if they can find a loophole, but you won't tell me. You won't let me do that. let me help your way. This isn't my way of doing it. This is still your way. I'm just helping your way.
And as she exhales, disappears. And then something taps your horn as it descends. It's a piece of paper that's slightly burnt.
Take a look at it.
It is a dinner invitation. The Lord of Pain, Asmodeus, invites you to a negotiation table. You may bring Daisy, Kissy, and Yaya with you to join him at the banquet hall of the Void Halls. Please use this ticket when you have traversed your mortal plane, and be ready for when you inevitably fail. Signed, Asmodeus. It is addressed to your ex-wife. She's given you a back door.
Kind of a dick move by Asmodeus to invite my party members and not me. But sure.
You have a sneaking suspicion because you're the one who made the contract. You are the only one who can actually void the contract if another one is formed. You know how this works. So it's inviting everyone but you because you're the only one who has actually got a shot at negotiating this deal. But you gather in a half your wife is still wanting your help, but will probably never admit
Will
that
admit
she
no.
No.
Say,
It's probably never admitting that she wants your help.
I was thinking like I did not need an insight check to tell me that she was being petty. Like I knew that from the get go. 100%.
Yeah, but I was like, if you're
Yeah.
on that one, if you're on that one, she's like, she's just happy to see you. It's
Yeah.
like that one lapse in concentration. But do you return back to the party, or do you lean against this redwood tree?
I'm gonna kind of sit down and lean against a tree, just kind of collect my thoughts, and compose myself. Honestly,
Fair. There's a pause before you feel something sniff and nibble against your boot as you kind of like instinctively like, because you've been in survival mode for so long,
Yeah.
like you instinctively like look forward and you just see a squirrel. Most like odd thing you could see in this moment is like this cute, adorable, fluffy creature that kind of like looks up at you and like gives a few chitters and then just hops away and then climbs up one of the trees. The northern sector has not had normal like land animals for a very long time.
I haven't seen a squirrel since I was a kid.
Yeah. But eventually, with composure, after about a minute or so, you return back to the camp that's now been set up. Your tent's been set up and waiting for you. But it's very strange feeling like after a while, I don't know if you do this or not, but placing your hands in fresh water. Like actually having fresh water instead of like mineral dirt deposit type.
Yeah.
Like an actual stream. A proper one. Feeling that chill, with the water just rushing through your fingers. It's the same for all of you. Feeling the cooler but dry grass beneath your feet after many, many months of just running and surviving in this actual moment. No one's chasing you, no one's after you. there's an actual moment of pause and peace and the potential of civilization, even though it looks like a farming village 3 days away. And Kitty, Jackson walks up to you as you're like having a moment of being sober, and he goes, let's not have that, and casts Greater Restoration on you to remove that in point of indefinite madness. And you feel almost like a weight has been pulled off your head.
Oh. I never usually drink to the point of intoxication that much, but I feel like that's what that would have been. Oh, sugar. Oh,
You seem to have been having a little bit of an issue.
yeah. Paperwork and some stuff I found.
Mm.
And I think we just went through a massive battle, but I don't think I really processed that happening.
Probably for the best, I'd say. And Kitty, it's at that point that it occurs to you, looking around, very familiar. Looking to your left, you see a very familiar redwood forest.
Oh.
It's weird seeing a place that last time we saw it, it was in flames. You know, devils rushing around, destroying everything. And yet, it's it.
I kneel down and I smell the ground.
Just as you left it. That same earthy pine mint like scent.
I much prefer this.
Jackson kind of like actually sits at that point, like leans back. Me too. It's been a while since I've seen green.
I seem to have an innate ability for things that are dead. Not too many other people seem to have had that occur while we've been going through what we had.
I wouldn't know what to tell you, to be honest. Not really my place.
Maybe it's something to do with the fact that I'm a much different type of elf than anyone else I know.
Mm. I see Jackson trying to think for a moment. I mean, there is the shade as a realm of existence. I don't know if it still exists, but there were others who were very similar. Were not necessarily in tune with death, but in tune with the transition between life and death.
I
Some
have a
took.
man who's now one of our friends, and I pull out the little keychain, put it on my hand, and start petting it.
The eye opens up. It's like shakes a little bit, like it's trying to purr. That's a mimic.
Well,
They
he's
they also they also come from the shade.
ah. Well, he's my friend now. He's quite sweet.
He looks to be a juvenile.
He's very cute, is he not?
Just you wait. Eventually, he'll grow into as big as a house.
Ah. We'll have to make sure. Like, he's very good at cleaning up all those parts of things that we'd rather not all have the children see. I put him back in my keys.
Yeah, a lot of mimics and other creatures of that kind tend to come from the shade. It's been a millennia or two since I've been there, but
You've been.
once or twice. I'm able to shift between planes, so
What's it like?
he kind of like looks out among the planes. He's like, "You see all this?
Yes.
Take all the color out of it."
All right.
That's the landscape of the shade. It's like a mirror. Like picture, if you will, the in the Edgecast presentation, you see a line which represents a pond. You see like the dark murk underneath and the sky above. This is us, like points at the pond line. The shade is, well, a reflection of everything underneath, but darker. And on top is the far shade, which is the Fae, like a sunset kaleidoscope.
Is it?
Everything, everything that, everything you see here, it's there, and the far shade just slightly different.
Is this why other people are naturally more afraid of the dark than I seem to be?
Yes, there was a time known as the Spheres when doorways were open, and shadow elves and Shadakai and umbral humans came through and introduced everyone to the shade, and there was transfers between people, and it was a different time.
I can turn into a ghost for a couple of seconds.
Yes, that's well, not necessarily teleporting. It's more like you're phasing into that realm and then phasing back into this realm and pulling an essence of the shade with you.
Yeah, does that mean I'm maybe partially dead? Or is it just that
Mm, 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 mm. If you were
that's
dead, you'd be showing signs of rot and withering and the hunger for flesh. The
yeah,
the the living human kind, not the cooked kind.
yeah. I just wanted to make sure because you know, this is a little bit important to me and our friends are, and as much as I feed, you know, my little companion here dead pieces, I don't really like that type of
Uh,
thing.
Again,
Just need
it's not exactly my realm of expertise. I mean, I'm old, but I had my interests. Mm, maybe an archfey might be able to answer your questions a bit better than I can. Mm, maybe a shadow goblin if you're able to find one, because they come from the shade. Um, mm, not entirely
so
sure
basically.
who would be around for you to ask, really.
Well, I've never met anyone that was slightly on the grave scale other than me my entire life. So I'm guessing I've never met one.
Well, not exactly. There are a few. There are entities that wander that are that you can contact. You just have to know how to leave an offering to entice them to come say hi.
I was like a try.
There's nothing wrong with trying. Just bear in mind their answers may not be what you're particularly seeking, but depending on who turns up, is depending on what answers you get, and depending on what answers you get is really depending on the creature.
Um, so I have an affinity putting bones together and making creatures. Hopefully that's not going to disturb anyone now that we've seen this lush greenery again.
The way I see it, magic is magic. The threads are neither good nor bad, it's just the intention behind them. So, if you were to say summon undead, I mean, so long as you're not trying to hurt people, I see no reason why people would be afraid of it. You haven't spoken about this to anyone else yet, have you?
I never do because, well, to be honest, I much prefer to blend in a little bit. It's a little bit easier. And then people start asking you a lot of real personal questions. Like, who are your parents? And I'm like, I don't know. And then they get a little funny about you not knowing who any of your kin are.
Hmm.
It's just
So,
easier to tell them who, or at least one of my sets of adopted parents were. And then they get funny about that, and then they get funny about the fact that I've been married so many times. You know.
well, that might not have been your choice, to be fair. To be fair, I've been married 75 times. I've had many children, many grandchildren, many great grandchildren. There's I've lived a life.
I know there was something about you that I really liked.
Well, I've been around since the literal time when some of the first species took their first breath. So, um, not the right person to comment.
Well, you know, us elven kind don't live quite as long as your kind, but we live quite many years.
Near the 800 range, I believe. That's still a long, long time. And
It
if I'm not,
is.
and if I'm not mistaken, depending on how powerful you get, you might live for 8,000 years.
Whoa, wait a second. I know I'm perfectly sober right now. You said like 8,000 years. Whoa.
I mean, druids that I'm aware of lasted for nearly 10,000 years, depending on how much energy they've stored.
Well,
Aging once every 10 years.
oh, you see, my first husband, my grandfather, he taught me the craft of being a druid, and he met other people that were closer to understanding my circle, but I wasn't really fully part of a circle because, well, nobody was quite uh, attached to some of the things that I can do.
Circle
This sounds
spore.
like a
Circle spore druids tend to be solitary practitioners, at least from my understanding.
maybe I should ask Mason some actual questions instead of just jabbing at him and making fun of him.
Mm.
Maybe he and I should have a chat.
I mean, again, I can't really comment on that.
Normally, I just make fun of him because he's always around us, and it's easy to tease him. And he gets kind of flustered at things, and then I just walk away and leave him and Daisy to the conversations. It's much easier to just, tease him. But maybe I should actually, because he's the oldest druid I think I know at the moment.
I mean, you can do.
Kind of hits him with her shoulder, kind of goes into him. I'm glad we met you.
Nice to have people to talk to instead of my own mirror.
Yeah, how about you don't do that again?
Well, I mean, the mirror always spoke back, so
That seems a little bit problematic.
is it?
Yeah. Mirrors aren't
Oh.
supposed to speak back to you. So either the
Oh.
mirror has magic in it or something else was going on.
Blue. He just looks up at the sky at that moment.
Did you bring the mirror with you?
No.
Where was the mirror?
Cave.
It's still in the cave.
No.
Where is the mirror now?
Out.
I mean this really pleasantly. I know you're my senior and all, and I should respect you, but really, just kind of come out with it now. Where is the mirror now?
Oh.
Did you give it to someone?
No. It just was there one moment, and the next it was gone.
All right. Someone stole it then.
No. It does that.
All right. Is the mirror attached to you in some way or fashion?
No. It just appeared one day, and I struck a conversation with it because I was lonely, and then when you all appeared, it disappeared.
Hmm.
Now that I think about it, I did see the mirror on one of the stones.
What stones?
Well, that one, he points, and you see a standing mirror just by the mountain pass.
I walk towards the mirror.
Okay, you walk towards the mirror, and you see yourself.
I look around the mirror to see if I can find anything out about it.
Roll me an Arcana check.
I'm not good with Arcana. This is not Kitty's specialty at all. Oh, that I rolled a 7, so 8.
Okay. Looks like a standard, ornate, very beautiful, looks like human-made mirror. However, the more you look at it, you realize that your reflection is not copying your movements.
Take a deep breath. Would you like to show me your true self, or are you just going to show me an image of myself?
Well, I always reflect the people that always reflect upon me. I don't always reflect upon them.
ain't this gonna be an interesting conversation?
Yes, ain't this a pickle?
Now, could you possibly tell me who you actually are?
Well, I'm Kitty, obviously. Who are you?
Okay, I understand now what other people may be saying about some of my conversations about myself, but nice to meet you, other kitty. How do you move yourself?
Oh, however I feel like it. I could be on the top of one of those mountains if I so choose.
Did you originate from?
Oh, that's a very long and detailed conversation that I don't actually know.
Do you have someone who might be your owner or significant other of some type?
Oh no, I don't have an owner. Anyone who claims to own me usually ends up joining the mirror. And at that point, you see faces being carved around the mirror frame. They weren't nice.
Well, uh, so are you originally from this realm?
Oh no.
What realm did you happen to come from?
Oh. Well, I originally came from a place where iron was a no, twilight was everywhere, and where people sang.
I'm not really good with all the realms. I mean, I'm only just experiencing and understanding this way more than I understand. But it did look like this in gray, so that's good. That's positive.
Oh, well, no. And this version of you turns, and you see almost like a neon prismatic reflection of the environment.
Is it a plane or a place that I recognize?
No.
Are you gonna be hanging out with your friend or with us for a little while?
Oh, no, I just go where I feel like it.
All right.
And right now, I feel that I want to stay here and have a nice conversation. You wouldn't leave without saying goodbye now, would you? Because that's very rude.
Well, I don't tend to not think about saying goodbye to people when I'm leaving. I mean, that's usually what I do. Do you need a hug?
I would love a hug.
I don't hug the front of the mirror, but just kind of come on the side and give it like a pat.
Oh no,
Without,
that's not a proper hug. As it reaches the hands through, and you see it's like shrapnel glass is like reaching out these long, undulating, like fingertips and sharpened claws. That's not a hug. This is a hug.
Kitty, in her total sanity, is now quite confused and is just like, "Oh, I didn't think you could do that. This something seems a bit wrong about this."
Nothing's wrong about this, but you offered a hug.
Yes, but I didn't think you could come out of that mirror. Can you fully come out of that mirror?
I haven't tried.
I step back.
As it grabs hold of the frames and like breaks itself free as it rips its way through the mirror and falls out. And you see it has shards of glass like embedded in all over its place, like it literally ripped its way itself through the mirror and stands up smiling. Well, ain't this a nice shindig? And all of you hear that. But I've not seen the material plane in quite some time. Ain't this a little bumpkins?
And I quietly say, hoping that one of them is around, "Daisy, Yasha, hello, James. One of you." Like you hear it kind of whispered out.
Well, how do you do?
Did this do anything to my portal sense thing?
Yes.
That's what I figured.
To the far shade, the Pharaoh.
Yaya's
I'm
gonna.
out. I'm fucking out.
Yaya's flying.
Hi there, Daisy. And is like waving his hands, and you see the glass like digging its way into the limbs, get it to move. Well, hi there. And it's like actually bleeding like purplish blood coming out of all the wounds.
As all of you come closer, Kitty's like, I think this entity comes from another plane, and our friend here was speaking to it in the cave. Just him and Amia hanging out.
Oh yeah, he was
So you just
very.
naturally figured, how about I try it too?
I was not really expecting
And you
this.
see the
This
head
is
like
not what
cracks, and Daisy, you see a version of you covered in mirrors. And you only thought now to say something? Well, I must admit, this is a very uncomfortable form to be in.
Yaya flies over with Idris to look at this creature.
Oh, I have horns. That's all. Okay.
Technically antlers.
Oh, and literally breaks them off. How about that? Turns around, stabs them into her own throat. Not yours, her own, its own. Like stabs them into her arteries. Why ain't that a bitch?
I don't think you should have done that to yourself.
Why not? And like it literally pushes them all the way in, and they disappear.
It wouldn't
Because-
be. Come on, no.
Ooh,
Because-
everything's out of balance here. Interesting. And you sensed me. And literally looks directly at James. As it cracks and you see horns beginning to appear, red skin beginning to form as it turns into you, James.
I'm gonna be
Now
honest,
this seems more my speed.
I was trying to stay quiet because I didn't want to get involved in this. I didn't want to really.
Oh
didn't
well,
want
now
this to
you are.
happen.
Oh well, now you are involved, my Helena detecting friend. I've got a few friends in mind that wouldn't mind having a little poke around in your old noggin.
I've got enough going on in there right now.
Ah, there's no harm in taking a little wander down memory lane, is there?
Oh, there is.
Well,
You're here for
memories
the
are everything. Well, if I'm from the Fae, that is true. Everything is very different there.
Why exactly have you decided to come hang out here?
I got bored, so I decided to come see if the grass was greener on this side of the paddock.
Is it?
No, it's still same shit. But it's nice shit. It's less shitty than the shade.
Hey now, that shade looked pretty okay to me when I saw an image of it.
Well, what you saw was what old timer remembers from 2 millennia ago. Right now, it's kind of shattered floating rocks that flow through ether. It's not exactly a very fun place right now.
I think I would rather face that lightning thing again, and then having to deal with this right now. Bye.
Well, to be fair, if I'm overstaying my welcome, then by all means, just simply say goodbye, and I'll leave.
Don't.
I'm not. I'm just backing away.
Which one of
I'm
you just
just
pulled?
taking-
Which one of you just pulled an iron knife? I can smell it.
Me?
Is at that point that all of you see Argos is there pointing an iron knife at the base of this thing's neck.
Of course.
Your blood hunter individual that's been traveling with you hasn't said anything, but has a like cast iron knife just like poking the back of this thing's neck. Why now that not nice?
I look at
Okay. Okay, I'll go.
I I hope you have a good time back in the Fey realm.
Oh
It's
no,
nice
trust
to-
me, I'll be making sure that I come back here with friends. I'm sure we'll get a right old shindig as it goes
It was nice meeting you.
back into the mirror. And the
Guys,
mirror collapses in on itself and disappears.
Damn.
guys, you can't make that thing mad. It took other people into the mirror with it. You gotta be nice to it.
Kitty, will you please stop fucking with shit?
I didn't do anything. I've not cast a single spell at all. I'm back home. These are the places I know. This is my home. This is where I spent most of my time. And I did not cast any spells.
You just saw a strange mirror and thought, oh, that's fun.
Well, I was curious about it, but it wasn't because I thought it was like nice. I thought it was probably dangerous and I was very curious about if it was okay or not. And, well, now we know what is in it. But our older friend here, who's been around for like since the world began, was talking to it for quite some time. And that also seemed a little bit problematic.
Here's the thing. That guy is a little bit older than you are and a lot more powerful than you are, so maybe he would not be in as much trouble as we are.
You look over at Jackson, he's flat on his back just looking up going, blue.
Blue.
I'm not saying wiser or smarter, I'm
Oh.
saying powerful.
Jackson wasn't
You
like this
gotta
before.
think before you act.
Jack, hold on. He was not like this before.
No, he was not.
Blue.
You can understand. There's some problematic things going on now. You understand what I was trying to do, and he does not seem normal. So I thought it might be just a regular mirror that maybe he brought with him and just dragged here or something. I did not think it was that.
Just for the sake of at least my sanity and probably everyone else's, when next you get the idea to try something out like that, talk to us about it first.
All right. Well, we have a friend here that we just met, who's a deity of some type, or born of one, anyways, who seems to be having some issues, and we probably should talk to him because he's got some issues, I think, as well. He's very intelligent and smart, but I think we need to go over and talk to him.
It's at that
Yeah,
point
yeah.
that as you turn either to go talk to him or Yaya to go and fly over to him, he's standing up.
Jackson, buddy, you good?
Blue.
Yeah, I was going to get Idris to connect her to his mind.
He is staring at a bright blue outline that none of you can see.
A blue outline of what if she tried to look through his eyes?
It looks like it's taking a humanoid frame. Unsettling in a way.
Is this something that is there that we can't see, or just isn't? Because I have the true sight thing.
Ah,
So I
then
don't know
you
if
can
it's
see
like
it.
in his mind or if it's actually there and we can't see it, kind of thing.
Well, you can see it, and now I need
Okay.
you to make a Christmas. And now I need you to make a Christmas save.
Yeah, there it is. Listen, I love
Hey,
consequences.
I'm kind of glad that haven't technically leveled up yet and got my blind sight. Because
I don't know if that would
I
work for
feel
that.
like
You would
maybe
be able
not
to.
for this, but for something else.
Yeah.
There are other things that would probably kill me.
12.
12. It's blue.
Screwed.
It's very beautiful.
Very blue.
Yeah.
Now I'm staring at it.
Yep. You literally see James's eyes just go wide.
They
And just
all
like-
all the eyes on the cloak dilate, and they're all staring.
Yep.
The eyes go, hello, can we help you?
And you see it stop, and it just slowly turns to where you are. Like, it's not looking directly at Jackson, it's looking directly at you, Gaia. Outstretches a hand, and that's when all of you see a condensed energy ball begin to appear. And then, as a line appears, and both you and Jackson, James, both go, ooh, at the exact same time. As
Can I
it,
just walk away?
well, to be fair, at this point, all of you see it open, and a form steps out.
Mhm.
A planetar steps out. And immediately drops the aura to restore James and Jackson back to their psyche. It's like, what the ow! Like Jackson literally like takes it and he going, ah!
I would just love to have a day where we don't stumble across 25 powerful beings in less than 12 hours. We could have like a few of those days. It'd be great.
Are you Daisy?
If I say no, we just go find someone else to bother.
Well, if you're not Daisy, then I will find this letter to be delivered to someone else.
She is Daisy. I'm sorry. She's just a little frustrated. We've had a real long day.
Understandable. I apologize for my presence of discouragement. And just hand you the letter.
I don't take it. I just look at it and just go like, first, before we even start, who in the fucking world would want to send me a letter?
I'm just a messenger.
So this is
Who
like,
gave it to you?
To my understanding, is someone that you had a mating bond with recently.
Oh fuck!
It's a love letter.
I go up and I grab the letter slightly, and I hand it to Daisy. I think your sweetheart gave you a little bit of letter. I mean, the goddess is really beautiful. So I mean, this is in
Shut it.
keeping.
I take the letter and just puff it away in my bag.
Good day. It just disappears.
Is there a big rock I can just bludgeon my head on right now?
Sadly not.
Fuck.
It's just a letter from the goddess. It's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, no, that's... Shush. Go
Look,
back to just... that thinking before you act kit. In the past
I
few
know.
days, you just stumble across everything dangerous and decide to try to make friends with it, and granted, sometimes it works. But how about next time you see something that might be dangerous, you try and get back up before you do shit like that?
to be fair, a meal shouldn't be dangerous.
And yet you had warning that it might be.
It is why I said something.
After trouble started. Not before. I love you more than I should probably even admit. But this is breaking me.
Well, to be fair, most of the things I just happened to do with the world we're in. And they weren't things I was experimenting with. I haven't experimented in anything in ages.
Next time, a mirror or something else that shouldn't be where it is, or talk, or move. How about you just call out, have people there before trouble starts? Not after.
Well,
You could have gotten hurt.
yeah, but at the moment you're more hurt than I am. You're almost. Have you looked at yourself lately? We've not rested. We have not slowed down. And you probably used up all your instances of animals and look like death has roamed over you. So what if it was just an mirror?
I will admit I've looked better.
I mean, you always look good.
Don't do that.
I understand. It's why I stopped experimenting just like you asked me to. Do you know how hard it was? We were in an area where I could have experimented. It did nothing.
You could have experimented as long as you got someone there to help out and to keep an eye on things.
But you
Always
asked me
experiment
not
by
to.
yourself.
I
Why not
understand
with...
that's why I didn't do anything.
You are just trying to hurry yourself at breakneck speed at something you don't understand, and it's gonna hurt you at some point.
To be fair, it always does.
Aren't you tired of being hurt?
If I was tired of being hurt, I would have walked away ages ago. But I'm still here.
Why don't you just try and make sure that there are others around to catch some blows? Maybe people that, you know, are used to taking some.
Promised I wouldn't experiment anymore without other people. I made that promise ages ago. You asked me to stop experimenting. Now I can, and I'll wait for others to be there.
Thank you. Now go get some rest.
This bag holds a lot of stuff in it, and my entire lab is now in it.
Oh, that's
And
great.
these keys.
Yeah, I noticed. It was
the
kind of
really
hard not to notice.
well, but apparently they come from the same plane that I was originally from. So that might also be a problem for us, which I just learned out like 5 minutes ago.
How about we make that a problem for next week or whenever we have rested enough to actually be able to think straight?
All right. Also, I probably need to talk to Nathan because I might live to be 8,000. It's slightly concerning.
Oh, yeah, Mason might know more about that than I do. He's more experienced. Don't say older, because that don't sit well with him.
Well, he's younger than I am.
True.
I'm actually gonna have to talk to that. I never talk to him or hold a conversation.
You usually just piss him off and then let me deal with the shards.
Well, it's fun to piss him off. It's kind of easy.
Yes, and I know you think he's adorable when you do.
All right. Well, you didn't need. I look around. Is there anybody else standing around us?
Yeah, I'm just watching.
Oh shit!
Don't worry, I'll turn around on both of the others in a minute.
I didn't want. I'm real sorry, everyone. I didn't need the two of you to know. I think it's adorable when people get frustrated at me. I just look. It's like I guess if we're on the ball right now, I would tell you that like I flirt with people because I think it's real fun, and I like seeing them smile and happy. Uh, Sometimes other things
Kit,
happen as a result. So yeah.
Kit,
Well, I'm
how
being honest.
about... Yeah, a little too much here. How about you go talk to Mason,
Mhm.
and I'll go talk to both of the others about something that's on my mind.
All right. Also, at some point, I think we need to
At least
like.
Mason is a safe person.
Yeah,
Ish.
I look over at James and I'm like, James, we probably should have a conversation with you at some point. You seem to know about some like portals or something, or what that mirror said, and we probably should all sit down and have a chat about it. Seeing the four of us seem to be together quite a lot, and it just might make sense that you explain a little bit of that to us, so that we could be a little bit more aware to check with you if you've got an instinct for certain things.
A portal opens. I get a little ding in my head. Kind of give me the direction. Gives me the realm that the portal opens to. That's about it.
I look over to our flying friend. I also just want to point out your brother was the head of that army. Some point, you probably need to sit down with Daisy if she's supposed to be your second in command, because you guys have a lot of stuff going on. And I need to be as far away from here when you have that conversation, because Daisy doesn't like to be in charge of things. She likes to do her own thing. And I don't want to get either of you angry at me, because I might try and hurt you if she gets upset. And I slowly look at Daisy and said, "We can talk later in private, and I promise, no experimenting with other people. And I will ask if I think it's possibly dangerous."
It's all right. She's already met my brother.
And I slowly back up, and I said, "I
Kit,
promise, I'm gonna go talk to Mason like you suggested, because Chin Chin and his brother will be with you if you need their protection."
oh, no, please do take them. Please.
Are you sure?
Yes. Very.
I mean, Chin Chin's already like sat there
No.
before you and blew up
No.
for you.
Take them with you. Please.
I just do this and bring them with me. Go find me.
You see Chit visibly sulk, just like waddle behind Kitty. The brother skeleton, weird, creepy thing is like actually on all fours and like scrabbling behind, like a dog.
Alright.
Just kind of look at them and hear her going, "Aren't you all so cute?" as she's walking towards Mason and away from the three of that, because she's like, "I don't want to be here. I know when Daisy's upset. Time to leave."
So as she goes, I'm just taking a deep breath, turning around, and I'm gonna just look at James for a hot second.
What you gotta be upset with me about?
I don't have anything to be upset with you about. You are probably the only one I'm not upset with.
Thank you.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
And I really hope that I got it wrong. But is your last name Burton, by any chance?
Yeah, why?
Right, okay, so when I was reading the cards and I had that vision, the one that we shall probably be needing to call Yaya's brother told me that I needed to give you a message.
Okay.
And He told me to tell Mr. Burton his new boss is waiting for him to pick up the sending stone. I don't know what it means, and to be perfectly honest, straightforward, and out there, I don't really think I want to know too much about it. But I don't want to keep information from you because I feel like that might actually hurt more than just you.
I mean, the main thing is I don't have a sending stone.
Don't look at me. I'm just a messenger in this. Please. I'm sorry. I don't want to make things difficult for you.
Well, you remember how you said you're the one that I have the least problem with?
At this current moment, yes.
After you've rested for a bit, we might have
You are gonna be a problem?
we might have a dinner invitation with a god, not a good god.
So you are going to also be someone I'm gonna be unhappy about?
Hey, I'm communicating. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, yes, you're welcome.
It's
But-
not gonna be a nice, cozy
Oh,
little dinner.
no, it's because he might have a contract in hands. He might hold my daughter's fate in his hands. And I might be the only one that can kind of get out of that contract.
I feel like you and I should have some alcohol about that at some point and just kind of talk about it. Maybe.
Let's
So you
we'll,
can
we'll
tell
we'll
me
take
how
some time.
you want to fix this.
We'll take some time. Well, you know what? We'll just focus on resting. You know, it's been a long journey. We're in the grasslands now. It's a beautiful area. We'll focus on resting and relaxing.
Yeah, it feels like you're avoiding something.
Hey, did you get a letter from a certain goddess?
I will not be taking your notes on that.
You're not even gonna open it.
If I want your notes on that, I'll ask.
I'm just saying. You know, I was open and honest with you.
I should read it once I'm done with keeping up with all the other administration that I've got. It's on the bottom of the quite high pile that has been piled up on me in the last few hours.
Yeah, you got that much.
Did you want to read it with me then, James?
Sure.
Alright, I'll come by. Now please, just go put that pretty face to rest.
The god's name's Asmodeus, by the way. Bye.
You motherfucker. DM, does that name ring a bell?
It does.
Not a good one, I'm gonna guess.
No, because the minute he says that, your mind goes back to the entity that was standing at the hell gate that opened around your location and stared right at you with the glowing red eyes.
I'm gonna kill James. I'm gonna kill him.
Welcome to the
Right.
club.
I will not be getting to the back of that line. I will be.
Picturing
I
Yaya's
will
there
be cutting
too, so
that
it's like
line to just be in the front of that line, to be the first one to jab something sharp through that man's throat. Anyway, Yaya,
we're at-
since you're here, how about you and I have a conversation as well?
just picturing the conversation with Daisy, and then he just turns to Yaya, and you should know this too.
Oh god. Just kind of. Yeah. We also have like conversation here? Please, just acknowledge that you did something very stupid back there. You took over leadership, and then you turn around and go on a suicide mission. That is not leading.
Yes, it is. Because I
No,
put
it
a
isn't.
hierarchy of leadership in place.
Yeah, about that. Putting me second in command is probably the dumbest thing you can do. I've
No,
been there, I've done that,
you have
and
compassion. You have, you care about people, and most importantly, you have the best qualification for leadership. You don't want to lead. You also have divination powers, and you have the, shall we say, positive interest of a god upon you.
um,
I'm just a weapon. A
no, you're
weapon's
not.
right.
You. I need you to just make sure that this second in command will just stay second, and that you will just be there. And if you can't do that, if you don't plan to do that, plan to just be a weapon and die, just let me know and I'll kill you myself, because honestly, I don't want to deal with that unpredictability.
No, I plan to train you to be the best leader that's possible. The leader this group of refugees need. Because I'm not the best person to lead. Because I no longer care. And I no longer want to care because I've lost everything. I've just killed my brother. I've released him to at least some peace. But I will have to live with the fact I've killed my brother and that I'm going to possibly have to kill my true love, the rest of my family, and and then if I do manage to help my parents from being what they've been transformed into, I have then got to explain to them how I've killed their children. So I'm not a good candidate for a leader, but I will make sure you are, and you will lead. And Yaya casts invisibility.
I just kind of say pick anyone else because I'm not doing it. I will
I'm going to fly straight up.
Um,
Alright.
at that point, I do have one wild shape left, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot take flying shapes yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I will. I'll turn into a squirrel,
Okay.
climb to the top of one of the trees,
Mm-hmm.
and still in squirrel shape, I'll say. Just chuck, like, I don't care what kind of tree it is, but whatever I can find on that tree that can be thrown, acorns, pine cones, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just frustratingly pick that tree from any fruit it has and throw it around as a squirrel.
Okay.
And then after about 2 hours of that, and my tiny little squirrel arms are going to be quite tired, I'm gonna go back into the camp, just moving around and going to find James. Because I said I would let him read the letter with me, and I'm a girl of my world. girl of my world. Jesus. Talking.
Well, you were a
So I
squirrel
just-
for the last 2 hours.
I was a squirrel for 2 hours, so talking is very difficult.
You were
after that.
throwing fruit for 2 hours as a squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone walked by, I would have aimed.
Okay.
So somebody might have gotten an acorn against the head or whatever was growing on that tree. But
Mhm.
other than that, and I would have seen an angry looking squirrel up in a tree. But after that, I just kind of go to James's tent and just kind of, well, you can't really knock, but I just kind of go like, James, you there?
Yeah.
Jesus. I just bumped my knee to a point in the table. Ow. And I just go in. Or I just kind of go like, can I come in?
Yeah, you got the letter?
please?" It's in my bag, yes.
Go on then.
So, just before we start, why the fuck would you leave the Asmodeus detail out until you ran away?
I mean, you were the one kind of like moving me along.
I was just... Never mind.
I told you I was a bad guy.
Yeah, you could have lit with a name there. I met the guy.
Oh,
Ish.
and you're gonna meet him
Kinda.
again. Because
Yeah,
you're
I'd really
invited.
rather not.
We're all invited. Well,
I'd really
I
rather
wasn't
not.
invited, but you know.
You wants
Your
to talk
your
to
letter. Your
What?
letter. Hey, your letter. You came here for the letter. Come on.
you? For something else as well, but hey. Alcohol. You always have some, right?
I got some whiskey that I use to sleep better.
That's great. I wasn't planning on sleeping. Anyway, I just pull the letter out. I just kind of like peek at how long is it.
Just a page.
Just that page. Jesus.
Well, it's like the
One
A4
sheet
page.
of paper. Yeah.
So I just kind of hand it over to James first, not reading it
No,
myself.
read it aloud. Go on.
No, you read it. I don't want to know.
It's to get, now that's just rude. I ain't gonna read your mail.
You want me to read it out loud? That's the same thing.
You should address to you. You read it.
You just see her stare at the letter for a solid 5 minutes before she even unfolds or unrolls or whatever way, shape, or packaging form it is in. Just kind of goes like, why do people do this?
What, write letters?
Yeah.
It's a way of communication over long distances.
So do you read it?
Yeah, after about 5 minutes protesting and grumbling, she opens it. Gosh, you're gonna send me something now for you. No, don't do this to me. Yep.
So, you open the letter?
Yeah. I just kind of scan over the first few lines before starting out loud. Just kind of go like, how bad is this?
So you saw us. The ones who put the gods to sleep. You saw us. When you touched that elder brain's tendril. We are the ones from the deep, and we know of you. We see you. And we're coming for you. That's it.
You know, Daisy, I don't think that's a love letter.
Nah, really? And that's where
know.
we're gonna session for today.
I don't know. I'm gonna need more than a sip of whiskey.
That's my sleeping whiskey. You ain't getting that much.
Again, session's over.
Yeah.
Session's stop.